And welcome back to Beyond the Barbell with your hosts, Larhana Robinson and Nicole Zenobia and Olympians. Don't you guys forget it. First of all, we always like to say thank you guys for support. We are now at 2K followers, and that is just so freaking awesome for us. The more we can support y'all, so we truly want to say thank you for everything. The likes, the comments, the shares.
Yeah, seriously, guys, thank you guys so much. The apparel is definitely been moving. I think we've ran out of all the mediums that we've had. We still have some larges that are left over in the mint, the nude, the pink. Yep, the mint, the nude, the pink, and the olive are left. The purple gone. So we pretty much just only have larges left over, guys. So if you guys want those, hop on those ASAP. You still have until midnight for that $30 purchase instead of paying $40.
Seriously though, take advantage because don't sit on them large fits. It covers, but it doesn't at the same time. Like I still feel like I look. So it's not like huge, and it's getting cold. So you want an oversized sweats. Like, bam, yeah, I'm lean under here. What are you thinking? Of course.
Looking at how the heck do I comment back? I'm still new to this. No, because I put where people can we can see their comments on here now.
Oh, cool.
Trying to see how you respond back. I don't know if you can. I guess we can just say, "Hey, Lakeisha."
That's fun. But anyways, let's
yeah, let's talk Big O 2022.
For real, showing the world, Craig. For real, world class, right here. How do you?
Oh man, it's definitely going to be exciting. I mean, it is 40 qualified women in the history of the Olympia. This is the most figure athletes that they've had for the Olympia. So this is super huge. I personally think it's really big just because, again, this is not just a lot of athletes from the United States. Like, this is a lot of athletes coming from other countries. So, like, this is huge. Like, we can literally say that we're standing amongst the best of the best in the world, not just the United States. Right. So this is going to be very, very interesting.
Yeah, it is a lot in that lineup. So I'm excited to see it too, because 40, that's a huge jump from 25 to 40. That's a huge jump. So, with the routines for prejudging, what do you think about that?
It's exactly what I thought it was going to be. So, we had gotten feedback that our prejudging routines will have to be 45 seconds just because we have double the athletes. Like, we're usually looking at 19 to 23 athletes for the Olympia, but now we're looking at 40. So obviously we need to condense, it is what it is. But it's 45 seconds as soon as you hit the stage. So I would highly suggest get to the box, show off your mandatories, make it as smooth as possible, and keep it pushing. I'm sure for finals, I believe it'll still just be top 10. I don't know if they're going to do more than that, but usually it's top 10. And I'm sure that they will allow the athletes to do their full-on presentation for usually I want to say we're up there for about a minute or so. I'm sure that they'll give us that time for finals. But for prejudging, it's just get it done, get it done quick and make it look good.
Right. And I feel them. I think it's 100%, because like you said, it is double the athletes. Everybody can't have a minute and a half on stage, which category has double the athletes, and which makes it good because it's quality, real quality, like you said. So it makes it an awesome show because it is worldwide. It is, that's the best of the best is here competing for that number one title. So that's great. I think that, like you said too, the second you hit the stage, you want to get exactly where you need to be done and coming forward. Yes, we all like that, and it makes us look, however we want, makes us powerful to do it because that's the privilege that we get as being a pro. But now you're talking about, you don't want to, do something that's gonna throw you off balance time, and you're going against what the judges are asking for, and then you get to the center box and you're like, all right, next, and you're just still doing it. You're just gonna, throw off the whole movement show. These
Exactly.
you're good. These expediters have a job as smoothly as possible because we're not the only category there. We can't be selfish. We have to follow the rules in 45 seconds. So practice a 45-second routine from when the second you walk in to get, like Nicole said, I think so too. For finals, it's usually top 10, which they're gonna which makes sense, and you'll probably get a little bit longer time there. So then have a second. That sounds crazy because it's like a lot of work. You got to have a short routine and a long routine, but we're perfect to do. We can practice it. We can learn it. We can switch it up and adapt. That's why we're professional. Practice getting the one done quickly, hitting your mandatories, get out of there, and then final top 10 so you can show off everything.
Exactly. Yeah. Definitely don't want any surprises because there is nothing worse than being in the middle of a presentation. All right, thank you.
Right. And you're still trying to go, no, wait, I want you to see my back. Bro. We told you to go to the center box. You ain't want to listen, but beyond the barbell, time too. You have time. You still have time to fix it. So practice with your heels. Likes to practice on their toes, but it's literally not the same thing. Put your heels on. Stop being heels on. Put on your heels and practice everywhere, on carpet, on tile, outside. You know how to adapt and you know how to pose any and everywhere. And because you just have to be prepared. We're prepared.
Oh, absolutely. I completely agree with that. I mean, a great example was I want to say it was my first Olympia. So, that was a lesson, learned as far as making sure that you practice on every surface. 'Cause normally I would practice on the hardwood floor or whatever, but that first Olympia was carpet. And I'm like, yo, how am I gonna pull off this slow ass mannequin turn on the carpet?
The splits.
And I was like, do we want to try it?
Michael Jackson.
I was like, well, I guess we're gonna give it a shot. Hopefully it goes well.
Jesus, help, please.
What? Oh my gosh. I was like, okay, my heel's gonna get caught in the carpet. Yeah, definitely want to practice on every surface you can.
So when you're preparing for the Olympia, the main thing that a lot of people stress over is the travel. Some people are coming from different traveling. They tend to hold water, and I was just like, do you have any tricks, if any, that you do, like when you're on the plane, to keep?
Not really tricks, really. I mean, the number one thing for me is always just getting there early.
Yeah.
Get there early, days in advance, especially if you're somebody who does hold more water from flying, things like that, travel. Definitely want to get there days early so that you can get the rest of that water off of you. Another thing I find too is I don't really take in any carbs on the plane. I'll wait for my carb meal when I get off the plane.
Mhm.
That usually helps me, and then honestly, my weight never fluctuates from being on the plane. Like, it always stays the
Right.
same.
I like to wear compression as well on the plane. My feet normally do, but ever since I've been wearing compression socks, I literally just and I just keep drinking water. Like as long as I'm drinking water, I just keep flushing it out. So it helped
Yeah, no, that's smart. I know a lot of people who do the
dry.
compression socks.
Seriously, don't
Yeah.
sleep on them. You should try. And I want to thank you
I'll give them a shot this go.
for
It is a
real.
long flight, so yeah, I'll give it a shot this time.
Have you your first Olympia? Did you overpack? Look at me. Did you Olympia?
You know what? I overpack for every show I go to because I'm like, do I want to work out in this? Do I want to work out in that?
Right.
I have no idea. I'm
Yes.
like, really? Am I really thinking about what am I going to be working out in, knowing damn well it's like the shortest of workouts because it's only a little pump up anyway. But then I'm like,
Exactly.
okay, what am I going to do after the show? What am I going to wear? First of all, I'm kicking myself in the butt because I done bought all this crap. And I'm
Mm-hmm.
like, you do realize it's going to be cold, right?
Exactly.
Where do you think you're going? I'm like, well,
You're
I
right.
guess maybe I need a really cute coat or something.
You have to shit because you got to show. They can't stay forever. You can't.
What? I'm
It's
like,
not.
man, really? Why I gotta be in December? Like, I'm trying to be cute. I'm
Yeah,
trying to show it off, and now I'm gonna be cold.
extreme. You have to get something. Get one of those snuggies. Snuggie. You're one of those that just goes on top of your dress, and then when you get there, take that shit off, and then shimmy shimmy her on. Shit, they know what it is. They know what's up. Come on now.
Oh my
They know.
gosh. They
I'm
played for this being in December, not happy. I'm like, man, I was trying to do a bunch of shoots in the desert. Now I'm gonna be cold in the desert. Like,
yeah,
really?
Brinky.
I'm like, this is not
Hey,
cool.
that's funny. No, but when you're backstage, like you really have to be prepared because um they didn't have that spray glue the last time for my suit to get glued on. So I'm like, man, the
Mm,
next time I come to the Olympia, I'm definitely buy or some shit because I was not
uh,
prepared for that.
yeah. So my biggest things to make sure that we have is obviously, yes, double check to make sure you have your suit. That is number one. Number
Mhm,
two,
right.
make sure that the jewelry is in the suit box. uh, I would
Great.
say also make sure that you have a pee funnel.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I mean, there's nothing worse than trying to go to the bathroom and a little splatter come up from the water and mess up your tan. At least this way with the pee funnel, all you have to do is slightly move your suit over, use the funnel, got no splash ups, you're good to go. Um, I think what else do I also make sure that I have? Obviously, besides making sure that you have all your food, make sure that you have more than enough food. Um, just because you never know if the show is going a little bit longer than expected. Make sure that you have everything regarding food. Um, Ladies, with the clear straps to the suits, um, clear straps, I love them because they look a lot better than having the color material straps. It just looks a lot better. But with that being said, the clear straps they tend to always snap. So you always want to make sure that you have extra sets with you. Because I've seen competitors not have
Right.
an extra set, and you know what? They're screwed by the time finals come and they can't get back on
Mm-hmm.
stage. So make sure that you have extra sets of those clear straps.
Right. Especially like people with backs like ours. We open first of all, we're not really working out the week before. Like you're just getting tiny pump. And then when we get carbs and whatever else to make our bodies look amazing to peak when we get up there. So when we open, we'll pop those straps on stage. I don't trust them for us. Like if you huge, you do not want to invest in clear straps because your Hulk smash is gonna come out. His boobs are gonna come. And Janet Jackson 2022. No, don't do it.
No, I feel like my go-to is just really making sure that when you do place them, obviously, yes, they're snug and tight, but also make sure that they are precisely underneath the lat. Don't let them lay across it in any way. Just make sure that they're underneath, because if they're not, then you can have a tendency to, that's when you would expand. But if they're underneath your lat, you should be
Will come out if it's bro. Think about it.
Can you imagine?
I have a huge ass. I have that strap down there by my low ass lat and my boot. First we are, so then I'm gonna open my lat and my thing is gonna come out. It's gonna go that way.
Maybe just take the adhesive spray and do a little glue just in case. I mean, hell, my suit bottoms are always glued on, so I mean, might as well glue the top too, just in case the straps do pop off. At least I'm good either way.
Right. Glue is something to take your skin off.
Well,
like
glue will absolutely take your skin off. So you definitely want to be careful with that. People who are new to the sport, I'm pretty sure you'll hear about bikini bite, things of that nature. I personally do not like bikini bite. Your suit will not stay.
Yeah.
It will stay for 2 seconds, and then as soon as you start moving, it will slide right back down. So my go-tos are the Scotch 77 all-purpose spray and the Elmer's glue all-purpose adhesive spray. Now, again, you really want to be careful with this because it can take your skin off. So you really want to be careful with how you take it off. Take it off very slowly. Either take some alcohol, or you can even do a little bit of oil to help kind of move it around a little bit and then take it off. Another thing to be said about that, obviously, when you go to pre-judging and then when you have finals later on, I know most people like to take their suits off if they have a nice gap in between. Make sure that you spray exactly where you sprayed for pre-judging, because it will also take the tan off. So you're going to have a huge pale area if you don't respray in that area. Put the suit back on in that area.
And make sure you place your suit in the correct spot. There's nothing more heartbreaking than getting a lower placing because you're of a. That is so, like, it really would hurt my heart that I got a lower placing flexor. Put your bikini in the correct spot so you have that V taper and you show off. It's very important. And if you need someone's help, ask, because, well, actually, somebody for their glue, and they said no. And I was like, oh my God, I could not believe they told me.
Never happened to me before.
Really? Bro,
it
happened. And yes, dude. And I'm like, she's like, we were there, and I was not trained in boxing because yeah. Anyway,
wow. We gonna talk about this. I want to know who the heck that was.
Remember her face vividly. She was in fitness category, and I'm like, I could not believe that even in the same category. Like, I was about to just steal the glue. Like, the fuck, I'll go get to Walmart right after this and get you another one. Like, what's like? No.
Well, I'm not even gonna lie though. I've had somebody actually take my spray before. Like, I let them use it, and then they took my spray. Like, I was pissed. I mean, so I guess I want to get it, but still, it's like, okay, just I'll help you and spray it for you. Like, I don't know.
Yeah, could have followed me. Like, I'm gonna give it right back, and you have like a shit ton. So, like, grow up. Come on now. Into the Olympia, you know, God was working for me. So, yeah, I'm terrible. But anyways, make sure y'all pack y'all's bands too. Did they? Yeah, they do have weights, right? But still, you don't. We don't really.
They do have weights. The last Olympias that I've went to, like they've actually had like little, little gym areas or whatever. But
Yeah.
still, you want to pack your bands. And this is really any show because not every show will provide bands. It is very rare that they do. So you want to make sure that you have your own bands or your own small little weights with you.
Right. And you do, they do have a whole area. I remember we took pictures there. What are we talking about? Area.
Oh,
But
it was dope. The equipment was dope. They had the mirrors. I was like, oh, this is dope.
we were doing deadlifts and heels, bent over rows and heels. But yeah, when it's to line up and stuff, you're gonna lose your pump. So that's why you want to have your band, so you could still and start posing. But really, you don't want to outwork yourself. Like I learned that this year, you don't want to train too hard before you get on stage, because then you're gonna exhaust yourself before the second you get on stage and you start trying to do your posing. Your body's gonna need to recover water instead of your body waking up and using the carbs to put the blood flow into the muscle, and blah. Don't overtrain and make yourself go into recovery mode whenever you're on stage.
Right. Yeah, I definitely don't want to do that. I mean, peak week should really just be a light week for anyone. I mean, you know, 30 minutes tops usually. Get your little pump and be out. That really should be about it. At this point, it's not like you're building muscle, it's just keeping blood in the area, burning a little calories or whatever, but that's really about it. As far as pumping up to get on stage, ideally, that's like 30 seconds to a minute right before you get on. I mean, you really shouldn't be doing it any, earlier, than that. I mean, you're already low on food as it is, and you can actually wind up making yourself flat.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. So it's like you just have to pay attention to all these little signs and write down your dash show, because we're all learning still. Nobody's perfect, and we're just growing. So we're just trying to give y'all tips. We're not making fun of anybody. We're not critiquing anyone, except because I did learn that about myself. But I'm not making fun of y'all. I just want to make y'all laugh. So don't hurt, because nothing's personal from me. You feel me?
No, seriously though, guys.
Okay.
I mean, we really just try to give as much advice and tips as possible. It's not ever about harboring or holding any information or anything like that. I mean, at the end of the day, we've had this talk before. My physique is mine, your physique is yours. I don't ever mind anyone hitting me up. Hey, Z, how do you do this? Or how do you place your suit this way? Like, I mean, I've had, people, I guess, contact, my suit sponsor and be like, well, I want my suit bottoms how Z's bottoms are. Well, there's no difference. Her suit bottoms are all the same as far as how she makes them. It's just how I place my suit. So when I glue my suit, I'll do a little tutorial on it so that you guys can see it. But the suit is still like this. What I do is when I glue the suit and I spray it, I purposely spray it like this so that when I do pull up the suit, I etch it in so it looks like it comes in like that. It looks like it's made that way, but it's not made that way. It's just how I glue the suit. So it's nothing special. It's just how I glue it. That's it.
Nothing.
Yeah.
Never forget it.
So yeah, if you guys ever have any questions, like please feel free to DM me, DM Lahana. Like, I mean, there's never a need to hold any type of information. Like, I mean, I've never been one of those people like, oh my God, I don't want to tell them because like I go against them. Like, no,
Right.
I want everybody to be at their best. So
I want to beat you at your best, and I want to beat me at my best too. So I'm going to help you get to where I know I'm going to be the best. I can only be the best if I'm beating the best. So we can, you know what I mean? It's the only right. So whenever it comes to focus on those mandatories, because that first look is going to be everything. 45 still a good amount of time, but it's not, what we desire up there.
Right.
So
of
that's
course,
more of like,
we want to do the whole little beginning thing, and then as soon as you get there, present, and then, do the model walk all the way forward. Yeah, I
Right.
mean, that part is awesome. But, I completely
Yeah.
understand it. We got way too many athletes to have to do that. Um, I would just say really work on those presentations. Just make sure that it is what they are asking for.
Those those mandatory poses are going to be everything, because that first look, we already know they're going to do the first look. You back out there for individuals, then they're going to do the call outs. So that first look, you want to make sure your hits perfectly. You should be able to hold your poses and not shake. Stay there like a say quarter turn. That's when you can release yourself and undo that statue, and then go right when you get back into your quarter turn. You have to hit those at every angle. So like lens of the line, let's say you're here and you're here, angle
Mhm.
yourself in so you can see your body if you're angled that way towards the judges. If I'm the head judge and you're over here and you're posing that way, I cannot see you. I'm looking here and I can only see your back angle. If you angle towards me, I can see in towards the judge so they can see your actual body, and you're showing off all of your hard work, everything to show off your body to the people in the audience. Yes, they matter too, but across the world to impress the judges. So impress them.
Exactly. I think that's something that I always reiterate to clients, posing clients. So, especially having a performer's background, we always are so interested in performing for the crowd. But at the end of the day, it's not the crowd who's judging you. So you also have to keep in mind it's not about looking out that way. It's always about looking down this way, because that's where the attention needs to be. Um, I always tell clients too, you're also getting your photos taken. Those photographers are literally right behind the judges. So it's either
Mm-hmm.
you're looking out, because I used to be guilty of it, looking out at the audience because you're trying to perform. Then when you get your photos back, you got this huge gap that's right here, because all you're doing is you're looking out there. When really you should have been looking down here, and then everything would have been one chain. So that's
Yeah.
just also something to think about.
Right. I don't know why. And a lot of people are terrified of looking at the judges. I believe it.
I mean, like,
Dude, I feel their energy. Like I already know if they're gonna pick the first call outs, because I could just feel their energy, and then it like puts pressure back on them because to look at them. So when they're staring at you and you stare right back at them, it's like they have to reject, almost like impossible. So
right.
stare right back at that pressure, right back up. Put the pressure on them. Put the pressure on them. Put it on them. Come on, Z. We need pressure. Dude, no, no, but seriously though, focus on those quarter turns. Y'all know, y'all know they like to work y'all. Yep, be on stage for a minimum of 10 minutes. So good luck, Charlie. I'm gonna be rooting for y'all in the audience.
It's gonna be cardio for real, for real. But it is what it is. I would just say make sure that you are conditioned to hold your poses. There is nothing worse than having one of the best physiques on the stage, and when you cannot hold those poses, good luck.
And they will not have the physique. If you start losing it and you're getting tinier, because you're holding whenever you're not conditioned, you just get smaller and smaller and smaller, and then you start showing more of your lift your chest up and keep your chest up when you start getting tired. But you have to practice. Put a timer on. Put a legit timer on and hold it for 30 seconds, and then bump up 5 seconds, 1 minute, and do each turn, because you never know. And front to back, front to back. Keep doing front to back tumbling on stage. We're professionals. We should know how to quarter turn by now. We've done
Right.
plenty of what they're asking for. Get into that quarter turn. Don't make everyone wait on you get into your quarter turn.
Exactly. I mean, don't get me wrong, I like to go a little bit slower, but not like dead slow, where they're like, okay, quarter turn. But I think there is a method to going a little bit slower. So I think a lot of us will go a tad slower. So it's kind of like the last thing that moved, that's where your eye goes to. But at the same time, you have to be careful with that, not to go too slow. Because you wind up going too slow, they're gonna turn you. You missed your shot.
Yeah, you're a performer, so like you know exactly how, because you're not even really going slower. It's like the tempo, but you end up in your quarter turn at the same time as maybe a half of a second off. So it's like you're going the speed, but then you slow and you go right back to the same speed. That's what I like. It's cool. Because like, oh, and then there it goes. Cool. I like it.
Well, I like yours. You're bodybuilder. Boom.
All right. Yep. I don't being known for that back.
It's like
not letting it go.
it reminds me of like a shotgun. Seriously, because it's just
yep. Boom. And it makes me just love using the lat to go for that with the side pose. I mean, it's not for everyone. Like me and Nicole do not pose the same. I pose for my body, and she might use some things that inspire me from her routine that I might try on myself. But whenever I record, that's a Nicole thing. That's definitely not a Larhana thing. And then I'll take it away. So it looks good on me, or it looks good on Nicole. You have to try these things out and actually put them with your heels on and actually try them with your suit on and your jewelry, so you can know your routine. Is it going to get caught on your hair? Is it going to get caught on your suit? All of these things you get to the Olympia, because you have no time to mess up when you get there. There's no time. In and out, get out of the way. If your thing gets caught, it gets caught, and you better figure it out. But to do that, so don't waste your own time. Yeah, this is a huge deal. Everybody's seeing this. This is not something that you're professional for a reason. So show us why you're world class.
Yes, I agree. Again, also, when it comes to presentations, and we're pros at this point, we should already know, but I guess some of us don't. The most important thing at the end of the day are those mandatories. That is what you are solely being judged on. Yes, your individual presentations do catch the eye of the judges, but that's not what you're necessarily being judged on. Sandy has said it a number of times. It's one thing to, maybe add a little flair to the individual presentations, maybe add a little, other divisions in there, maybe like bikini, a little bit of wellness, something like that. But as far as figure is concerned, they don't want to see the women's physique or the women's bodybuilding poses. So if anyone has noticed, okay, I pulled back on that type of posing, which was what I was known for. Still love to do it. We'll only do it for guest posing now. But I pulled back a lot on that. So, we're still seeing athletes still going up there and hitting bicep stuff. And that's not what Sandy wants to see. So I hope that you guys have seen I think it was the FemFlex Friday, and I think she was on another episode, but she was, talking about that. Really, really take that into consideration. She is the women's head judge, and you want to really pull back on those bicep things and rear double biceps. I mean, hell, I've never even done a rear double bicep in a routine before, so you might want to reel it back in a little bit.
Yeah, come back. You went too far. Or pull it back for real, though. Yeah, completely agree. I mean, they made a statement, and girls, and you meet the criteria, you should get the job done. So just do what needs time. You're sacrificing way too much, to just get there and be told no because you didn't meet thing, which is an easy correction. I would be so mad at myself of a bicep curl, my freaking routine. Don't just follow the rules and your hard work. So just do it.
Save it for a guest pose. Do it there. Right. Don't do it when you compete. And yes, was it E. Smith 4030? Yeah, I've witnessed it a lot too at NPC shows, and because they're seeing pros also do it. So us as pros need to start following the rules a little bit better so that our NPC athletes follow suit as well.
Exactly. And I'm going to keep saying it. You can't do what I do. You can't do what works for you and what works for your body. That's why you have to find a posing coach that is not pose you for yourself and not like anybody else or like themselves. It's not cookie. It's not cookie cutter. Can I talk? Like, come on, help. Send some help. It's not, you have to pose specifically for your body, for your muscle definition.
Correct. So I highly suggest finding a good posing coach that is really good in one with biomechanics, understands everybody's bodies are different. Not everybody can pose the same way. You have to pose somebody for what works for their bodies and what's going to showcase their body's strengths. There's been time and time again where I've seen a lot of athletes, not saying any names on coaches, but they work with certain coaches and they all look the same as far as the posing goes. And the thing is, their bodies are so different. So those poses don't necessarily work for their bodies. So really make sure that you're working with somebody who's going to be able to showcase your body's strengths. And I get it.
Yeah.
Some poses look really cool and you want to try them. By all means, try them, but make sure that it actually works for you.
Yeah. And can we take away the whole super, come on, pick up the pace, go regular. You don't got to go so slow. Like, there's 45 seconds. Get there and get out. Like, there's no slow motion with me back in Houston, Texas.
Right. You can do the slow-mo, like,
no.
slow, and then bring it back up. Right. Like, there's no way to be dramatic. You know what I mean? But don't throughout the whole entire thing. You can just be like, okay, well, damn.
Yeah, exactly.
Any day now.
Up and down.
Right. Like, work with the tempo a little bit. If you want to do that slow-mo move, cool, and then bring it right back up to speed. But I wouldn't suggest doing the whole entire thing dead slow because, at that point, it's just like, okay, are you done yet?
The routine is just the same speed the whole time. It's still going to get boring. You need to change it up super slow. If you're medium paced or if you're fast paced, you should still change up the tempo because the same thing at the same speed. It's like, okay, cool. She's really good, but like, I want more. How she do? How else can you catch my eye? You can't catch my eye if you're just doing the same thing over and over and over. Y'all know you may not be American, but Americans, we lose in a second, half of a second. So you have to keep us focused on your routine. So keep me up and down. What else can I see? What move? That's what you want.
Exactly. I always look at it as far as being a performer, because I used to competitive dance and I, also used to coach competitive dance. So a routine that's just this the whole entire time is just like boring. So you definitely want to get to a climaxing point and then back down and back up. So it keeps you drawn in the whole entire time. Again, if it's this the whole entire time, you can easily lose somebody and it sucks, especially, if you've got like an amazing, body and you're like, wow, but then it's just like, For me, it's like it's
So
an overall thing. So it's
yeah,
not just the individual presentation, but it's also about your energy as well. Like, are you
yeah,
honestly drawing me in? Because I've seen people who have really great physiques and the posing is actually pretty good, but the whole aura itself, the energy is just not there. So it's not bringing me
right,
in. Or maybe it's just maybe a
right,
lack of confidence, in yourself, even though we can see that you have the body and your posing actually isn't bad, but the lack of confidence or just the energy is not there. So it's not drawing me really into what
right,
you're doing.
right. So what I tell my posing clients is that because I have ADHD, I'm like, you have to treat the judges like they have ADHD. If you treat them like they entertain them the entire time, because somebody that has ADHD cannot stay still for more than. So if you can keep me still in my spot for the entire 45 seconds, focused on literally doing your job, you're entertaining me, you're going up and down, because I don't know what to expect low. I don't know if you're going to go fast, if you're going to go medium pace. I don't know if you're going to change positions or what, but if you're obviously, we're professionals, so you should be hitting your mandatory poses without a doubt perfect. You can add as much flair as you want, but you ultimately want to hold poses or whatever pose you're hitting. You have to hold that pose for at least 1 second, so that way show the judges your physique, and then two, you can get your picture. It's like, oh look, this is, don't judge me here, and then you get into your pose and you're like, here, take a picture, judge me right here, go back to transition or whatever you're doing. But that's your
Right.
goal. Just keep them entertained the entire time. You're not the first, the last athlete they're gonna see, but you want them to see you. So
I want them to
entertain.
see and remember you.
Yep.
Another thing too, and this is, again, this is not just for our pros. This is also for our NPC athletes and people who are just getting into the sport. And um, you know, athletes tend to think that they're going slower, and a lot of it has to do with either nerves, anxiety, excitement in general. But they're really actually moving way too fast. So, obviously you'll tell your client, your opposing client, okay, make sure you hold each shot, hold it for a second. But I sometimes feel like even for myself, I'll be like, okay, I'm just gonna hold it for 1 second. But I always notice with prejudging, I move way faster than I should be. So I find that if I kind of count to myself on each of those mandatory shots instead of, thinking I'm holding it for a second, I actually take the time to count 1, 2, 3, then transition. Because if you don't, you really think you're moving slow when you're really not. You're actually just speeding right through it. And then you get the video back and you're just like, holy freaking crap. Like I was like on fast forward.
Yeah. What was I doing? Why didn't anybody tell me this? Oh, because you
Somebody say, slow down, slow down.
right. Yeah, because it's Olympias or Olympiers, however you want to say it, because they're both cool. A little bit nervous, and as long as it's a good nervous, that's a good thing, because that means you truly need to get first place. But if you go in there and you're like too cocky, normally you like lose. Like I was like so positive, like, man, I did amazing on that test. I know I passed that test. Like on the test, get the test back, I got a 0. Then the ones that I think that I don't even know if I did good on that test or not, get it back, get 100 on it. It's pretty much the same thing here. Really good things. So don't beat yourself up because you're nervous. You're nervous because you're ready and you really have the be number one in the world. So own it.
Right. Absolutely. Wow. I think that's all
Olympia,
my tips on posing at the moment.
right? The whole everything. Yeah. Prepared, and don't overpack, because there's gonna be 40 of y'all backstage now. Four, how normally y'all are we're all like laying down in the back on our suitcases and all that. Look, Y'all are gonna be touching elbow to elbow. So don't be afraid to get some love with your figure sisters. Y'all are gonna have to be lovey-dovey back there. Sharing.
Ooh, gonna be crowded. Make sure you get there early to get your spot, cause I'm getting my spot early. These feet going up.
Like, I'm gonna get. Dang, man, that's gonna be so awesome, though.
I'm excited.
Hopefully, if they're gonna put anything on there about what y'all can bring backstage. Check to see.
I don't know.
That. Because y'all
hopefully they just allow me to just bring my like small little carry-on thing, because that's usually what I put my feet up on.
Right. And then that should be, good. But they have to, because it's the Olympia. All right, y'all. It's day. Thank you again so much for tuning in. Again, we appreciate the support. Continue to message us about those sweaters. We absolutely love them. And whenever we get more in, thank y'all again for 2K followers. I can't believe it. Keep on the lookout for our post next, and we will talk to y'all soon. See you later. Deuces.